Alert, alert, Minecraft 1.15.2 has brought us some new rules, so we're going to test them out to see if they're true. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, and welcome to another episode from me, Avomance, in my Let's Do an Experiment and See What Happens series. Today, I'm going to be looking at bees, a big bee experiment. 1.15.2 dropped just a few days ago, and things changed with the bees. One of the important things that changed with the bees was the fact that you can now spawn bees' nests after the world has been spawned by spawning a new tree using a sapling or something like that. And if it grows in the right place, that tree will have a chance to spawn the bee's nest. In the new version 1.15.2, if you grow a tree using a sapling on the block right next to a flower, that has to be on exactly the same Y level, doesn't matter what the biome is, then you will have a 5% chance, that is a 1 in 20 chance of getting yourself a bee's nest, like this fella. So we're going to see whether or not that is actually true. And we're going to try different trees, different biomes, and all sorts of permutations. Let's crack on with it. I would like to introduce you to RUMAP, and this stands for the ridiculously overcomplicated, over-engineered, magnificent arboreal propagator. I think RUMAP is probably best, otherwise this video will be 8 hours long just saying the name. It is basically 60 repeaters, 60 dispensers, a load of redstone, overly complicated, a gap between those, and a flower. Right? Makes sense. So all we need to do is place ourselves a sapling between each one of these and the flower, and we have got an instant bee's nest factory. Now obviously as I place these, by the time I get to the end, some of them may actually have grown on their own and they didn't need the room map at all, but we're going to do it anyway. So let's get these fellas in. There we go. We got them all in without any of them growing. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Now, all we need to do is throw the switch to get the room map going. That'll dispense all of the bone meal onto those trees. And with a bit of luck, they'll actually grow. And we can see how many bees nests we get. 3, 2, 1. Away they go. And those trees just bash straight out. Look at that. That's fabulous. Let's let that run the bone meal out to make sure we get all of the trees. I actually like the way the red flows. And we've got 60 trees. So now what we want to do is see whether or not any of them have grown a bee's nest. And we may have seen the flaw in the room map device. And that is, these trees are so blooming close together that there isn't any room for bees' nests anywhere. And I don't think we've got any. So, like any good scientist, you need to repeat the experiment and change the factors that are causing the problem. So we're now going to do this again, but have plenty of space between the trees. So here we have a RUMAP free system where we've got 3 rows of 20 trees that have already started to grow up, as you can see, with a space of 8 in between each tree. Loads of room. Let's get these bone milled. All of our trees are grown up and I can already see that we've got at least 1. So 60 trees. How many nests have we got? Let's have a quick look and add them up. And in 60 trees, we've got 4 nests. So that's about 1 in 15, a little bit better than what they're claiming it would be. What's also really interesting to note is even the small trees can spawn these nests. Look, you've got 1 gap underneath the leaves. On 2 of them, you've still got bees' nests. So that's oak in a plains. What about birch? Or what about spruce? And we've done it with birch as well. So I'm just going to go through the birch and see how many bees' nests we've managed to spawn in on the birch trees. Again, at 60 trees, all of which have got a flower right next to them. And it looks like out of 60 birch trees, only one has spawned in a bee's nest. So that is 1 out of 60. I'd be interested to see if spruce does it. And we've got 60 spruce trees as well. And I'm just going to bomb through here to see whether or not we've got any bees' nests. I've got a funny feeling this might be a little bit apis devoid. Nope, not a single buzzy. So what we need to do now is do this in a number of different biomes to see whether or not it changes from one biome to another. I have spent the last several days of my life doing this experiment across 7 different biomes with these 3 trees. Well, I tell a lie, I actually got bored of doing the spruce tree because after 3 times I got 0 3 times and I thought, you know what, I don't think they're ever going to get them. So I gave up and I just went forward with the oak and the birch. But let's have a look and see what we actually got. Zoom. We know what we got in the plains because I did it with you. We got 4 in the plains for the oak. We got 1 for the birch and none for those spruce. And then in a swamp, we got 5 on the oak. We got 3 on the birch and again none on the spruce. I'm pretty sure spruce can't grow them. In the comments below, have you ever had one grow on a spruce? My betting is no. And just to prove it, in the tiger biome, we got 4 on the oak, we got 2 on the birch, and none on the spruce. Let's face it, if it wasn't going to grow in a tiger biome, it wasn't going to grow in any biome, was it? Let's face it, come on, we know that. In the mountains, we got 3 on the oak and 1 on the birch. In the desert, yeah, I did it in the desert. We got 3 on the oak. The birch didn't do any out of 60 trees. I think that was maybe just statistically bad luck. I think if I did more, maybe I would get them. And then in a flower forest, yes, I cut down the trees in the flower forest to replant them. I got 5 oak and 4 birch. I don't think it's relevant that it happened to be a flower forest. I don't think you get more in a flower forest than you do anywhere else, really. I just think I got a little bit more lucky with rolling the dice. And then in the ocean, yeah, I built a platform in the ocean just to see if it would work. And we got 3 growing on the oak and 1 growing out of the birch. So you can see pretty much guaranteed that every biome, I know this isn't every biome, I've not done jungle, I've not done ice spikes, but every biome, pretty much, you're going to get a successful growth. And yes, I know, is this statistically viable? No, it is not. So, testing 60 trees of 3 different types, kind of, we have found that we've got varying numbers of nests growing on those trees when those trees are planted next to a flower at the same Y value. Really important. If it's a different Y value, it won't work. So if you're doing it on a mountain, it won't work. In the flower forest, I had to literally plant some earth to be able to level it out. And also, I think 1 in 20 is probably not far off right. I think apart from the 1 in the desert, I think pretty much I got between 1 in 20, 1 in 15 in every biome. So that is about right. This is a very good opportunity for you to be able to farm yourself some bees. Another thing that I did notice is when I put these nests out and the bees kind of popped into being, there was always 2 bees in each nest that I noticed. 2 bees. I know I kind of overlooked the plains ones a little bit, but I kept a bit of a tally, and 2 bees were generated per nest. So that means that you can breed them up and get yourself plenty of bees in a farm of some description like that. It is a great new way of getting your bees. And if you couple that with the fact that knocking the bees off with a silk touch pick won't make the bees around you angry in 1.15.2 anymore, they are quite happy for you to nick their home as long as you don't hit them in the same process. Another benefit. If you have enjoyed this experimental video, please do remember to slap that like button. It'd be great to know you're enjoying it, and I will keep on making them. Also, if you've not done it already, please do hit that subscribe button. It'd be great to see you in my sub club, and I look forward to seeing you in another video. You take it easy now. Bye.